Finding a great deal during one of these Amazon sales can be so satisfying, but there's so many deals out there, even just in the smart home space, that it can be overwhelming to know what to pick. So I've gone through the deals and found some that I think are worth your attention. And whether you're catching this video during Amazon Spring Sale or afterward, I think this video is a nice list of products I think are worth putting in your smart home, whether you get them on sale or not. And let's start off with a bunch of great deals from this video's sponsor, Aqara. One of my favorite things about Aqara is their growing range of affordable sensors and controls. Sensors and physical controls make your smart home truly smart, keeping you out of your phone to control your smart home. And because Aqara products are affordable, it's easy to make updates and additions that quickly add up over time to a much smarter system. Aqara has 3 packs of their door and window sensors discounted for the spring sale in the US and Canada. I recently covered all my remaining doors and some windows with these Aqara sensors. This helps me take all kinds of automations and status notifications to the next level. We recently moved our kids' bedroom, and the Aqara sensor on that door gives me a notification when the door is opened at night if I'm home. And this way I know if my children are out of bed and might need some help or be up to something mischievous. The sensors I added to my windows will shut off my smart thermostat when the windows are open for those gorgeous spring days. I've also talked a lot on this channel about how much I love smart buttons in Apple Home, and the Aqara mini switch, also on sale, is one of my favorite and most reliable buttons. I have these at the entrance of rooms for triggering things like my kids' goodnight scene or wake up scenes. But to connect all those sensors to your smart home, you need an Aqara hub to bridge them into a Matter ecosystem like Apple Home. When Aqara released the Hub M3 last year, it was clear to me how forward-looking this product is. Hub M3 is equipped with Zigbee, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and an IR blaster, not to mention a thread radio. Since its release, Aqara has continued to ship software updates to make this hub even more powerful. I found myself using my Hub M3 more and more, adding lots of new Aqara accessories to it. If you already have other Aqara hubs like Hub M2, then Hub M3 can work with them, creating a network of Aqara hubs around your home, all processing commands to the sensors that are closest to that hub. They can also fail over to another hub if they lose power or have another issue. This keeps all your smart devices online. As Aqara ships more products with Matter over Thread, I've started adding them straight to my M3 hub before I also add them into my primary Matter system, Apple Home. This means they should show up right on Aqara's smart displays when they ship later this year. I have a feeling that adding Thread devices straight into your Aqara system will continue to be a better and better advantage of Hub M3 over older hubs as time goes on. Whether it's time for a multi-hub architecture, controlling Thread devices, or one of the other features we don't have time to get to today, upgrading your home to Hub M3 can work with Aqara devices today, but also set you up for the smart home of the future. Aqara also has lots more incredible deals across their product line, including a 3-pack of their leak sensors that Aqara just added to their deals, and that's something you should probably put under all of your sinks to stop any leaks there from causing lots of water damage. I'll leave a link to check them all out at the top of the description. Thanks again to Aqara for supporting my channel by sponsoring this video. Now I think as you look at those products from Aqara and some of the rest of the stuff I picked out, there's kind of a theme going on this time around smart home essentials as well as lighting. And I can't think of a more essential part of lighting in your smart home than having good smart switches. And that's where Lutron can really be a great option with their Caséta wireless switches. They use a bridge which uses their own proprietary Lutron Clear Connect technology to make for some really reliable performance with their lights. And I love the newer designs from Lutron of their Claro switch and Diva dimmer. These fit right in with even some non-smart switches on the wall. They look great in basically any settings. You can get a Diva dimmer starter kit on sale for 20% off the normal price, available at Amazon as well as Home Depot and Lowe's. So this includes the hub. You'll need to get Caséta switches connected to your smart home, as well as the dimmer switch and a Pico remote. The Pico remotes are a really cool wireless way to control your Lutron switches, and we could get all into lots of details around Pico remotes, but that's probably a topic for another video. Now, moving on to another company you'll hear me talk a lot about on this channel, Nanoleaf. They have a bunch of different deals, but the one I think is really worth your attention, especially with the spring and then the summer being just around the corner, are their outdoor string lights. Now, the 30-meter version of their outdoor string lights is usually $220 in the US, and that's coming down to $199 in the US. So $20, but then it gets it under that $200 price point, which might fit nicely in your budget. I made a video all about these outdoor string lights last year on my channel. I installed them on my back deck. They continue to work reliably, and they worked reliably through all the cold parts of our Illinois winter. All right, so it's minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit outside right now. Let's see what outdoor smart home tech is still working. How about these Nanoleaf string lights? Still work. You can see all the colors here. If you're looking for outdoor lights that are going to be able to survive cold weather and wind and rain and snow and still look great and work well, I've had a great experience with these Nanoleaf outdoor string lights, and they can add a nice ambiance. Moving on to Eve, they have a lot of great deals for Amazon spring sale, including a 2-pack of their Eve Energy smart plugs, down 27% to $55. Now, $55 for 2 smart plugs might sound kind of expensive on the surface, but they're actually thread-based. They don't use Wi-Fi. They work really well with Matter, and they also provide energy monitoring. And on top of that, Eve is a very privacy-first company. They're not trying to sell you on any kind of extra cloud services. You can just set up these smart plugs in the Matter ecosystem of your choice, like Apple Home for me. And Eve also ships a really nice app that helps you manage these smart plugs and see the energy usage inside their app. But again, it's all local to your devices. Nothing stored in the cloud, very privacy-first approach. Another Eve product that's on sale is their light switch. They have a very cool futuristic design of a light switch, and it's kind of like the touchscreen on your iPhone. You just tap it anywhere on the switch and it turns on and off. So assuming you're touching the light switch with your hand, it's very easy to turn the light on and off. Works with Matter over Thread, and I found the one that I put in my son's room to be very reliable. Now moving on to Arre Home. Arre Home has a 15% discount across, I think, pretty much all of their products. One of my favorite products that Arre Home makes is their smart button. This is a very nice feeling button. It works via Matter with any Matter ecosystem, including Apple Home, and I find it to be very fast with Matter over Thread. I love that it has just kind of like, I don't know if it's actually metal, but it feels like metal and just very nice as you press the button. And also the other thing I love is that Arre Home products like this smart button can attach to your home either with adhesive like a lot of products, but also with a screw or a nail. So if that's an easier way to put it onto your wall, you can do that. And it comes with a screw and wall anchor right there in the box, ready for your drywall. I also love that Arre Home ships their smart button with some stickers so that when people look at it who don't know a lot about your smart home, they might be able to understand that, oh, this smart button deals with the blinds or the fan. Now, last on my list is a product that's not actually discounted, but it just went on sale. And that light actually isn't coming out until next week, so stay tuned to the channel where I'll have both long and short form videos, including the new LIFX Luna. But in the meantime, we have some very exciting Sonos deals to talk about. The Sonos Ray, which is their entry-level soundbar, is down to $180, $100 off from regularly being $280. I think this is a great value soundbar, especially if you're not trying to fill a very large room, or you're in a setup where you're mostly sitting straight in front of the TV. I tried a Sonos Ray for a while in my living room, and I was very impressed with the sound, especially when you're sitting more or less straight on in front of the TV. off-angle viewing maybe isn't quite as good as some of Sonos' higher-end soundbars, but still very impressive, especially at that price. Another exciting deal from Sonos is the Era 100 is $50 off, so down from $250 to $200. And I did a bunch of tests comparing this speaker with the full-size HomePod when both of them came out in 2023. And to my ears, I prefer the Era 100. You can hear more about that in my full review of the Era 100s I did back then. But especially if you're getting a stereo pair of these speakers, that's $100 off a stereo pair at $400 instead of $500. And these are my rear surround speakers in my home theater setup in my basement right now. But they are amazing stereo speakers, even for things like listening to music. And either way, I think two great options from Sonos that are worth considering whether or not they're on sale. I love Sonos because a lot of their speakers support AirPlay 2, and that means that they work seamlessly with all my Apple products, but they also have their own ways to play music. And of course, Sonos has had their fair share of issues with their app, but it's getting better, and they also make for great TV sound. So I still think Sonos is a system worth investing in, and it's a great company trying to do the best they can, despite maybe some past issues and failures. I'll leave links to all the deals we discussed down in the description below, including today's sponsor, Aqara. And maybe if you're thinking about those Era 100s, you might want to check out my review of that over here on the screen. And either way, thanks again so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.